Welcome viewers to Historical Journeys. It's November 2018. Furthermore, in Egypt's Sasa Simi Valley near Luxor, archaeologists have made a mind-boggling disclosure. The group have revealed stone coffins inside the profundities of a burial chamber that is believed to be around 3,500 years of age. What's more, in the wake of opening these stone caskets, the specialists find something shocking: perfectly protected remains. Archaeologists have uncovered a burial place containing 3,500-year-old mummies in wonderful condition. But before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. It only takes a second, and you won't miss any of our future videos. Let's get started. On account of the heap archaeological miracles that have been tracked down there, Luxor has been named the universe's most noteworthy outside gallery. This portrayal is to a great extent down to the way that Luxor remains upon the vestiges of the old Egyptian city once known as Wazit, which was a position of no little significance. Wasat, or Thebes, as it was alluded to outside the realm, was once Egypt's capital. The city was at the level of its noticeable quality during the time is known as the Center Realm, spreading over about 2050 BC to 1710 BC, and the New Realm, which is remembered to have endured from around 1570 BC to 1069 BC. English history specialist Ian Morris has, as a matter of fact, guaranteed that Thebes was once the most crowded city on the planet. He gauges that by around 1500 BCE, exactly 75,000 individuals lived there 600 or so years after the fact. In any case, this populous figure was surpassed by that of the Assyrian city of Nimrud, which can be tracked down in current Iraq as well as others. In any case, Thebes was a prosperous spot inside Old Egypt. Wealth moved through the city, and various striking strict landmarks were raised there. Maybe obviously, then, at that point, a lot of archaeological demolishes and loves have since been tracked down nearby. For instance, the remainders of the Karnak-Luxor sanctuary edifices still alive inside present-day Luxor, with the structure are comprised of various designs that started to be worked during the Center Realm timeframe. Furthermore, Karnataka and its encompassing region additionally filled in as a significant strict area that was devoted to the god among the Luxor sanctuary. Mind-boggling, then again, was not implicit distinction of any god whatsoever. Rather, it was developed in devotion to reviving the matchless quality of rulers, and it is accepted that various Egypt's lords might have had their crowning celebrations there. The Luxor sanctuary complex is likewise remembered to have been a crucial site of the wonderful blowout of Inverse. This old Egyptian festival was noticed once a year in Thebes, and proof shows that the thought of resurrection was common all through the celebrations. Notwithstanding, current examinations of the Luxor sanctuary complex have been confounded thanks to the populaces who settled from that point. The old Egyptians' occupants raised structures upon and around the sanctuary throughout the long term. Thus trash started to stack up. At last, then, at that point, a man-made hill, however much 50 feet tall, emerged, and this covered a large portion of the sanctuary. In any case, regardless of the difficulties presented by the antiquated load of flotsam and jetsam, also more up-to-date structures worked nearby throughout the long-term. Unearthings started in 1884. This archaeological work was at first driven by one teacher, Gaston Maspero, and it proceeded irregularly until 1960. Today, the remaining parts of the Luxor and Karnak sanctuaries are tracked down inside current Luxor as boundaries. Yet Inverse, the city on the opposite side of the Nile, an altogether unique mother lode of old Egyptian designs and relics can be found in the space known as the Valley of the Lords. As needs be, numerous popular disclosures have been spread the word about there, maybe the most well of these being the burial chamber of Tutankhamun. Tutankhamun was a pharaoh of Egypt during the New Realm time, and various development works occurred subject to his authority. However, considering Tutankhamun's youthful, he was delegated when he was around 9 or 10. It is assumed that he had powerful figures assisting with coordinating his choices. Maybe because of such direction, a few designs were worked at the Karnak sanctuary under Tutankhamun's rule, customary Egyptian celebrations that had recently been sidelined. I'd additionally reappeared during this period, but it isn't therefore that Tutankhamun is so notable today. The Kid ruler, as a matter of fact, came to cutting-edge conspicuousness after news hit that Howard Carter had found his burial place. The archaeologists' years-long quest for Tutankhamun's last resting place at long last dragged natural product you see in 1922, and eventually, north of 5,000 things were found in the burial chamber, including a gold casket and a passing cover of the Tutankhamun's facial covering has, as a matter of fact, since become one of the most notable images of Old Egypt. Interest in the progress was provoked after Carter's stupendous find, and that public interest might just have heightened when tales spread of the purported Tutankhamun's revival. The hypothesis of there being a revival was apparently started by the passing of George Herbert, the one who supported the exhuming of Tutankhamun's burial chamber. Herbert died close to 5 months after the burial place had been found, and his end was in this way credited to the revival. And keeping in mind that the English blue blood really met his end thanks to a tainted mosquito nibble, this idea of revenge from past the grave entered the public awareness. Different passings have since been credited to Tutankhamun's revival. To that in yet more interest is the way that Tutankhamun's burial place and its items were in excellent condition for their age. What's more, accordingly, relics from the site have been broadly shown, further raising the long-dead pharaoh's famous profile across the planet. All things considered, archaeologists in Egypt have been trusted since Carter's day, and new disclosures in the nation kept on being recorded. As of late, in November 2018, for instance, one more critical find was divulged. Also, toward the finish of that very month, the undertaking had stood out as truly newsworthy around the world. Be that as it may, what precisely had the archaeologists uncovered? Well, in the SSE Valley, close to cutting-edge Luxor, 2 old stone caskets were uncovered in a burial place. And keeping in mind that that find was significant without help from anyone else, this was all that the group had figured out how to uncover. You see, around 1,000 funerary sculptures were likewise found at the site, with the relics later being uncovered as a feature of a venture connected to the College of Strasbourg in France. The 2 inside which the stone coffins were found is situated in an acropolis known as El Asif, which lies on the west bank of Cheats. Furthermore, clearly, just shy of 1,000 feet of flotsam and jetsam must be dealt with to get to the vault, and try that required near a portion of a year. While the other stone coffin was from the 18th tradition, Khalid al-Yunani, Egypt's priest of relics, said in an explanation, and the 2 burial places were available with their mummies inside. To make things abundantly clear, the 17th line existed from approximately 1580 BCE to 1550 BCE, while the 18th tradition ranged from roughly 1550 BCE to 1292 BC. It may not come as a shock either to discover that the remaining parts were preserved. All things considered, while preservation is a training that existed in various former societies, it is maybe generally firmly connected with the old Egyptians. These individuals saw the interaction as crucial to planning people for the great beyond, and the actual demonstration at last mirrored a people's societal decision. Strangely, there were various particular ways of embalming a people body, some of which were more costly than others. Thus, the more well-off individuals from Egyptian culture were ready for life following death in an alternate way to poor people. Furthermore, this class partition was additionally reflected in how the bodies were covered. So how does this connect to the mummies that were found in the frozen north stuff? Well, it appears to be that the saved remaining parts uncovered there have a place with individuals from the Egyptian first class. One of the arrangements of remains is believed to be that of an, as a matter of fact, liable for cleric directing the course of change, and the other set is accepted to be that of his significant other by means of. There were, notwithstanding, stamped contrasts between the unveilings of the 2 mummies. While the minister's stone coffin was opened in secret, flames was exposed before writers. This is accepted, as a matter of fact, to be the initial occasion when a stone coffin as items have at any point been uncovered before the eyes of the global press. It is evidently likewise trusted that the disclosure will produce more interest in Egypt as an objective. Unquestionably, The travel industry is crucial to the nation. And 2010. For instance, around 12 of the populace's laborers were utilized in the area. Also around then, the travel industry was what's more liable for north of 11 of Egypt's gross domestic product. Nonetheless, in 2010, the Bedouin Spring started an uprising in this way spread across the Center East and North Africa. Egypt, obviously, was straightforwardly affected by this, with the subsequent transformation starting in January 2011 and eventually prompting in excess of 800 passings. Maybe naturally, in this manner, the travel industry took a huge blow in Egypt following the 2011 transformation. Without a doubt, guest numbers fell by more than 37, somewhere in the range of 2010 and 2011. Furthermore, the tantamount downfall went on all through the next years also. The Egyptian government, obviously, noticed the emotional fall in the travel industry to the nation. Thus, from 2014, it has looked to inhale new life back into the area. Subsequently, various state and confidential drives have been set up to urge individuals to visit Egypt. What's more, as a component of the Egyptian legislature's endeavors to draw in interest in its country, there has been a push for media consideration towards new archaeological disclosures made there. It's actually important as well that the stone coffins found in Pardon's burial chamber were the main antiquities to be revealed in 2018. Maybe the most unusual revelation came from Saqqara, a previous necropolis arranged in the one-time old Egyptian capital of Memphis. If you want to stay updated with our latest videos, subscribing is the way to go. Just click that red button below and become a part of our channel family.